Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tina and it's a beautiful day to be creating with you. Today I'm going to be making a layout with our new The Good Life collection. Now, originally upon looking at this collection, I think it really does. It has a very country farm vibe, and sometimes I find that if you focus on the sticker collection, or maybe what I always like to call the theme paper, if you will, there's always like one paper that's a little more dominant than the other papers to capture the theme. This could get lost on people who maybe don't see the other hidden value in this. So one, if you're looking for masculine paper, it is all over it. There's a mocha with white polka dots. This definitely has got masculine vibe. The gingham is a nice deep gingham. That wood grain paper is so nice. Like that, you could almost feel like you would expect to be able to touch it and it to have texture. But I wanted to be able to show some other ways that the collection could be used. And I immediately thought of this that I have to scrapbook. This is the Baldwin home. And unfortunately, I should say it was. This is in Maui. We were in Maui last year and we visited. One of the things we always do is we try to go to national parks and historic locations. George and I both love them. This was the oldest home on Maui. I think it's circa like 1834. 1834. And due to the devastating fires that just, ripped through Maui, it is gone. So these pictures definitely took on new meaning for both of us in knowing that we were able to see this huge amount of history that had been there for so long and is now gone. It does change a little bit about the way that I'm going to scrapbook some of this. I'm going to include more historical data. I always put some of that in, but I'm also going to be doing a page at the end of my scrapbook to just kind of capture the fact that many of the things that are in it are no longer there. So this is the Baldwin home, and it's gorgeous. It's going to be hard for me to grasp that during that video, but I want to capture the details on my layout, and we're going to go ahead and do this. I have a picture of the house, and I have some papers that are just cut here. I liked this. So when you're going through the home, you learn the history of it and everything else. You learn about Dr. Baldwin. And I kind of felt like this looked like some chicken scratch notes that, might be on there. I want to only tear a tiny bit of this off because this is the middle of the page. And I needed both of the other two pieces for some other projects that I'm working on, including another page to go with this. All right, so I'm taking this off, and to me, this just looked like some calculations that might be going on. And these are 1 1/4 inch pieces. I'm going to tear off about 1/4 of an inch, exposing the wood grain or the white core. I have that wood grain in front of me, that white core paper. So when you want to expose the white core paper like this for your torn strips, you always tear towards you. And I don't do real well with the ruler technique, so I just tear really small pieces as I go. All right, I want to see the white core. Even though we're going to do some inking, I'm not going to ink the white core. I think it adds to the older look of this, and I have some clean lines on here, so it'll be perfect. Okay, I've done some prep for my video, and I'm hoping that that'll help shave a little bit of time. I always find that I'm not the fastest. All right, I'm just using my brown sponge here, and I'm using toffee ink, which is one of the colors, and I'm going to ink the three sides of the torn strips. Okay, now that I have all my pieces inked up, I went ahead and I inked everything with toffee. I did around the edge of my page. I did the 3 non-torn edges of the papers that'll be off to my left, and then I did all around the edges of this coordinating paper that I have here at the bottom. I love this striped, and you'll probably see it in most of my my layouts because I think it brings in the full color palette. So unless I choose to, you know, single something out, that's kind of where I'm gonna be. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put my toffee off to the side, and let's go ahead and put this layout together. All right, I'm just gonna mat my photo, and this is the front of the house, and I just have a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 mocha mat to go with that. Some of the pieces that you'll see here are actually die cuts. This kit also includes exclusive die cuts. All right, I like these photo holders that came with those exclusive die cuts, and I'm just going to cut down some foam tape. I'm only going to be using 3 of them, even though I have 4 out. I like this polka dot pattern that they are, and I think that I will then bring some polka dot paper because it is one of the papers in the kit. I think I'll bring that in on the other page. This will become a 2-page layout, but I just like to do 1 page at a time because I'm a little slow. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put some of these papers down, and then I'll tell you what else we're gonna have with this. I'll go ahead and get all the papers lined up on the left side here, as well as get my 2 strips attached, and I'll be right back. Okay, now that I have all my inking done and the pieces are down, we're gonna go ahead and add all the good stuff. I really like this this layout because it frames your photo out. I'm going to bring my photo down over that 1 1/4 strip that goes across, and there we go, so that it kind of comes over and creates that. Now I'm going to want to create a pocket for this part right here. So I'm just going to grab some of my foam tape. This is our slimline foam tape, and it has been retired, but it is my favorite. It was still currently available, and I have been consistently adding some to my order. I want to make this a pocket. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go across the bottom and the sides, and I don't want to waste my foam tape. It's not like when we're doing a shaker where it has to be, you know, sealed all the way around. So we just need enough to support the pocket portion. We won't need to, you know, worry about anything falling out with what I'm putting in here. Okay. There we go. And I'm also going to add my photo corners on the 3 corners. I've added a little bit of foam tape to give them some dimension. There we go. Okay, and I know my pocket is going to go right about here, but I actually want to stamp directly on my layout. I've prepared a title to stamp, and I went ahead and did a quick video that I could pop in for how I do my titles. So I'm going to go ahead and add that video right now. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Tina, and it is a beautiful day to be creating with you. I am preparing to do a layout later on today in which I want to put my own title on the page, and I don't want to cut it out. I actually want to stamp it directly on my page. So I am prepping that, and I thought I would pop in and share a quick video on why I love alphabet stamp sets. They last forever. They're craft arsenal. They go in, they're going to be there for you. So this is the Baldwin home, and I'm using my Versamat to line this up. I can use that grid line pattern that's on there to make sure everything is equally apart. So basically all I do is the part that goes against the acrylic block is the part that is facing up. And I pulled this stamp set out of my stash, realizing that I have not used this nearly as much as I should. So I went ahead and I grabbed it, and I hope to use it on my next several layouts that I have coming up. All right, I'm just spelling out my title, kind of just getting it nice and close together. One of the things that I always like is to try to grab the alphabets that have the upper and lower cases, but I try to pay attention to what I have so that I can make sure that I just constantly increase my my fonts, my sizes, you know, the variety that I'll have to work with. Okay, and I'll grab the N. All right. Okay, so this, excuse me, this is the Baldwin Home and Museum. So I have Baldwin spelled out. I'll grab my 2 by 6.5 block, and I can just pick it right up. I know that we also have a line here that you could space them out with, but I have found that I really do prefer this. It allows me to really look at it, and you know, even if I want it closer together or any of that, I can change it. I really like it. Then what I do is I go back and I look to see if I can do 2 at a time. So I have my H, my O, my M, and my E. They're all available, so I will set up both of these at the same time. If I'm repurposing my letters for another portion of my alphabet, or say I have to use, you know, 2 small E's or something like that, I normally will, you know, piece it together, and I really pay attention to those grid lines to make sure that I stay equally spaced. All right, I hope that you found this tip helpful, and I hope that you will think about adding some wonderful alphabets to your collection so that you can personalize all of your layouts as well. Okay, so I was able to get Baldwin Home on my 2 blocks. I'm going to be stamping with our Mocha ink. I love being able to do titles. I think it makes things super easy. I mean, I really like doing everything, so I'm hoping that foam tape is not in my way. I meant to stamp prior to the foam tape, but we'll just hope that all will be right in my world. All right, I've went ahead and inked this up with some Mocha ink. I'm going to try to get down there. There we go. And just let the ink absorb. I'm pushing a little harder because of the foam tape, just in that one area. And there we go. And now I'll add the second part of my title down here at the bottom. And I'm going to be leaving a lot of room for journaling. Here we go. I like this picture here. It was included as one of the die cuts, and it actually almost made me switch from the graph to the little fence, but I thought the fence stood out a lot more if I left it as is. This little textured toffee piece is also in the die cuts. Now, this workshop is great, and you could definitely do it just like it is. But I really love to get the pieces and just kind of be able to do my own thing. Sometimes I'll pick my favorite and I'll do that. But I just never know until I look at it what I'm going to do. I like to keep an open mind as I go with them. Okay, so I have this little photo booth. Couldn't find that there for a minute. I have this little photo booth, pictures that I've done on my selfie. I like to find ways to, you know, I take a lot of pictures and I like to find ways to include those, but not all my photos are going to be the spotlight. This makes my scrapbooks really interactive. I have here, this has the Baldwin Home, and you'd never be able to read that, but there are some pictures of some other photographs that were in the museum, the home, and as well as a couple of the letters. And this is actually doctor's fees down here. And I thought that that would be kind of a cool addition on this. And we're going to see if when I put this, I want to make sure where I put this that it's not, that they're going to be able to go all the way down, and I won't be in a situation where it's going to cover my title. So before I put that on there, we're going to go ahead and make sure that that's good to go. And I think that those are going to look really nice next to this. And then additionally, I will have lots of room for some journaling. And I'm okay if my photos come over this a little bit. That is why I left that photo corner off right there. And I think this right here is a good spot for it. My home is over a little bit more, and I'm just looking to make sure that it looks good, but I have a little something that's going to go there. I want to make sure this goes across all three. All right, I think I'm pretty good. It's going to go pretty close to the bottom. Wanted to stick to me. Okay, here we go. There we go. And these will be able to just slide in here, and I will leave a slit in my memory protector to put that so that people can pull these out. And I'm just getting it over the little part that goes across there. Okay. There we go. I love them. They look great. They're just below my, and you can always, you know, you can switch them around. You can do whatever you like. Hopefully they're like just below. There we go. All right. All's well in my world. Now I'm going to lift that photo corner and just put it that way. It's also going to help that stay in there. All right. I'm always working with something old and something new. So I'm constantly going through my items, and I have these keys. I really like them. And look how this is Whisper Twine. I don't even know how long I've had it, but these are my something old. We're currently shopping our stashes and pulling all kinds of things out. I am hoping that I am able to use up some of my items. I always like to make room for the new stuff. All right, there we go. And I will just give that a little trim, and then I'm going to just spin it and unravel it a little bit, and then I might trim it up again if it's too long. And I'm just going to pull the twine apart, kind of get it a little more frayed. Sometimes I will even ink my twine. I want it to look not neat. We'll go with that. I want it to look like it's kind of, you know, been through a little something. So I'm just kind of pulling at it and tugging it and making it, you know, look a little, there we go. Okay, I'm not sure where I want to put the key, so I'm going to leave it, but I know that I would like to add a heart, and I just want to see what size is going to work. Now, this is my older wood, and wonderful quality, close to my heart. Crushed it when they got into the wood compliments for sure. But the new wood is more like a paper board. It's like a real thick, sturdy, and some of that is featured in this collection. It looks like this. It has all the textures. You can color it. You can do so many things with it, but it's just a lot thinner. So one of the things I've done is decided that for my older wood, I would like to go ahead and destash my older wood. And hopefully I have a heart in here that is going to be the size that I want it to be. And I just want to add a couple of those. I kind of like this one because of the L at the top. And I'm just going to give a look-see. I think this one's a little bit bigger. I actually think I like the smaller one. Okay, I'm going to pop that in there. And then just to kind of add a couple of extra wood, I'm going to add a little heart right up here. And then I'm going to add another one right over here. I want this one over here to be small, so I'm just making sure that I fit the right size in there. It's amazing the variety that they give you in the wood or the and the acrylics, I shouldn't say or. There's always, you know, such a variety in everything that it makes it easy to just keep changing all your pieces around. Okay, I'm thinking I really like this and it is good to go. I just have this little key and I'm going to attach it, I think, right there. So I'm going to move that heart over just a little bit, I think. I might not. I might bring it back. All right. I'm going to attach these with some glue dots. I love glue dots. They're so useful for so many things. I often find myself attaching all kinds of extra things with them. But also I really like how sturdy they are. Okay, we're just going to put this, if it will let me. It's like I said, there's you attach all kinds of things. Apparently I'm one of them. All right, there we go. That key is super cute. Just going to grab, make sure none of that glue dot is sticking out. Now, my plan is I will probably do circa 1834 up there with that. So I want to make sure that I leave that there. And all my journaling will be done on my computer, some type of typed font. It won't look like my title. I'll make sure that it's definitely different. I'm trying to see if these glue dots are going to work for me. This is so thin and I don't like seeing adhesive. It's one of those things, if you're like that, you're not alone. All right, so I'm just going to grab some of my liquid glue instead. I would definitely pay attention to those glue dots, and then I would probably pick at it. So I'll just go with this liquid adhesive and we will be all good. Perfect. Another little glue dot for this one. And I think I am going to move this a little bit closer to that. There you go. I think this is a great page. I will definitely post full pics when I'm done, but you can see at the bottom here, I'm going to be able to pull lots of the facts that I got from this pamphlet. I won't do all of this in one location. Normally I just pick out the highlighted things that I like, different things that might be happening, and I kind of put those throughout my layout, unless I'm doing an introductory page to, you know, a much larger layout. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. I do want to add one more thing as I'm looking at it now. I have a sticker that I want to add. And I'm also realizing I'd like a little more texture, so I'm going to grab a textured stamp set here. All textured stamps are wonderful. If you have some textured stamps, I have this little one that I'm going to use. They last forever, so, you know, make sure that they're easily accessible and you can grab them to use them. This one here just has some tiny little kind of splats, but they're small, and I'm going to be adding some additional background with this in just certain locations. All right. I'm just going to be rotating the stamp. And it's not really background stamping, but it is. We're just kind of selectively choosing how we want to put these in here. And these, you can always stamp on top of them as well, which is nice. Okay. I like that. And there we go. Okay, that's going to do it for me. That added part there with that background. And now there are these stickers. And one of the things I'm loving that Close to My Heart is doing is they're giving us all these words. And I really like the words. I think that, I don't know, they speak to me because I love to do that. So one of the things they have is it has memories, farm to table, gather today, keep it simple, which I know I'll use. And I could put the circa up here, or I could put one of these words up there as well, and then do the circle right down here. And I kind of like that idea. I think I'm going to use the good life, because the story about the Baldwin home really is about an entire family who live a good life. And provided healthcare services and everything to the fine people of Maui. That's going to do it. There you go. Okay, so I have that little pocket page that holds those 8 photos, a nice picture of the home. This is actually the color of harbor that's in there, so I brought some additional harbor in here, a little bit of Stampin', and a wonderful introductory page that I can then add to a second layout. So I think that that will be great. Thank you so much for joining me. If you found this video helpful, or maybe you just kind of liked a little tidbit here or there, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. I'd love to have you join our crafty community and craft along with us. I wish you a fabulous day. Take care. Bye-bye.